It's designed, it's the amount of the acid designed by the production engineer. After the design the job, just inject at the below pressure than breakdown pressure to penetrate the acid at the formation. It's due to the amount of the acid. And also we record the injection pressure. We record the injection pressure. If the injection pressure increase, we stop the job. After the injection of the acid, we use the peripheral job to remove the acid to the formation. So, the matrix acidizing with the reaction with the rock, reservoir rock, increase permeability by create some wormhole, or increase the porosity by dissolve the sum of the rock material. So improve the productivity index, improve the flow efficiency, decrease the spin factor, and have many effects on the rate of the production and improve the production. What is the difference between the acid fracturing and the matrix acidizing? At the matrix acid fracturing, we inject the high pressure fluid to create the more than crack. You see that? We inject the high pressure fluid to create the some fracture. So at this fracture, we have a reaction between the rock and the acid. So we have an etching on the surface of the fracture. And this process increases the productivity. So if we want to say that a brief about the acid operation job. First, acid washing, just remove a debris and cutting at the wellbore. For the matrix acidizing, just inject the acid with the pressure less than breakdown pressure to create a wormhole and react with the reservoir rock. But for acid fracturing, we inject with the high pressure, fluid and high pressure acid to create the some fracture. So this is create a conductive path for the produce the fluid. Now, the type of the acid we use. First, we can use HCl, HF, formic acid, and acetic acid. Selection the type of the acid is related to the formation type. If we use a sandstone, must we use the one of these. And if we have a carbonate reservoir, must we use another one. If we have a corrosion problem, we use the weaker acid, formic acid or acetic acid. Any question?
So mostly we use HCl, right?
Is very, very common with a different with different concentration. Maybe we use a 15% concentration, or maybe we use 28 concentration. For the acid wash, first stage, we use just HCl. But for the matrix acidizing and acid fracturing, we may be used HCl or HF. Also, maybe we have some corrosion problem. For the corrosion problem, we use the weaker acid. This is just the base fluid. For the acid operation, maybe we use some additive like a sludge preventer. Yesterday we said about, like corrosion inhibitor.
Okay, the amount of HCl that we're using for the acid wash and matrix acidizing, how many liters we have to use it? Is this the same? Is this like standard or in every well, or is different from?
It's different. It depends on the thickness of the reservoir and the amount and the volume of the wellbore. But for the acid wash, we use twice a volume of the wellbore because we want to just circulate. But for the matrix acidizing, we design by the piping software and acid frac software. This is the most common of the production software, and calculate the amount of near wellbore reservoir. Before the inject, we have an estimation about the porosity and the volume of the near wellbore. This is about the reservoir and the matrix acidizing. So we inject a volume about this. We inject amount of the acid near to the near wellbore volume. But for acid fracturing, we inject to create a fracture. But must we control the creation of the fracture, because we use a more acid, maybe create and the loss of all of the acid, crash all of the formation, like deep water horizon. Okay?
HF, what mean? HF?
Hydrofluoric acid.